G'day guys, Dylan Moebus, crewman for Haven Sport Fishing Charters and a part of the Shimano Pro team. I've been doing this for the last 3 years here, full time. We're currently here at beautiful Port Stephens doing our marlin fishing season. Today I'm going to run you through a few tips and tricks here to get you started on your marlin journey. It can be quite daunting at first, but it can be quite simple. We're mainly going to cover live baiting today. We're going to run through a few basics here, like what rigs you're going to use, what sort of outfits, how we're going to rig our live bait, how to catch our live bait, how to take care of it all, and hopefully that all complements with a marlin at the end of it. We'll start with a few of the outfits that I recommend that you'll be getting yourself to begin this marlin journey. There's two different fisheries here on our east coast. There's an inshore fishery and an offshore fishery. So if you're inshore fishery, usually fishing 10 to 15 kilo, but you just get into it, I recommend a 15 kilo outfit. 10 kilo is quite light, and 15 kilo, you can easily knock over most fish here. For a 15 kilo outfit, you can start off with something like this. So you've got a nice 15 kilo, got a Speedmaster 15 kilo rod on a Speedmaster 16 2-speed lever drag reel. For this game fishing for marlin and tuna, all that sort of stuff, definitely need a lever drag, and that 2-speed does come in handy quite often, being able to bump down to that single speed there and those larger fish. So that's got 15 kilo main line on it. And then coming over to our offshore outfit, I recommend a 24 kilo. Going 15 kilo on the shelf, you can get done over by some larger fish. So that 24 kilo up and in the line class there just allows you to combat those larger fish a bit more. We run a Tiagra 30 wide with 24 kilo line, and that's on a 24 kilo Speedmaster game. So again, lever drag, 2-speed, and these Tiagras, they really are workhorses. We run them on the charter boat here, nice and heavy. Good to get the winds on them, good cranking power, good drag on them, and the ratchet's nice and heavy on them, so you can't stuff up too bad there when you're running your free spool live baiting. Now we've got both our outfits, our 15 and our 24 kilo for the inshore and offshore. We're going to run through what sort of rigs, how we're going to rig them up. So there's two options you have here. On this 15 kilo outfit, we've got a double straight to a swivel here, snap swivel. So with that, you can connect your leaders straight up to that swivel there. Just a rod length double, so you can either do a bimini twist there or an Aussie plat. There's plenty of videos out there to learn that. I personally do a bimini plat here, do it real quick, easy, 20 seconds, done. Over on the 24 kilo outfit, got a wind on. That's another option there. So with that wind on, you can have access to that leader a lot sooner in the fight. However, you can't put as much pressure on that wind on there until you get to your main leader. You can run a shorter main leader there down to your bait. All right, looking at our leaders now for our live bait fishing here. We're always using fluorocarbon leaders. It's definitely critical for our live bait fishing here. So here we've got 100 pound down to 60 pound. And that covers pretty much our offshore to our inshore fishing. With our fluorocarbon, it's definitely critical for that live bait fishing. Fluorocarbon is pretty much invisible in the water, high abrasion resistance, and to be competitive in this live bait fishing, you definitely need to use that fluorocarbon. For our inshore fishing, you can start anywhere from 60 to 80 pound. Just getting into it, I recommend 80 pound, just for a bit more better breaking strand and abrasion resistant. And then going out to offshore, 100 pound there, you can start at 100 pound and go up to anywhere to 150 pound there. Definitely recommend something like 130 or 150 pound, just to get them started out there on the edge. Onto our live bait leader rig here. So we run circle hooks. For our live bait fishing, it's worldwide known, circle hooks, your best chance having the best hookup rate. And also for best fish survivability. So here we have our fluorocarbon leader, it's 60 pound there. And on the other end of it here, I just put a little copper crimp there. It's pretty much invisible compared to an aluminium crimp in the water. Back to our circle hook here. There's a few ways you can attach your circle hook to your leader. You can either snell it, like we do here, or you can also attach it with a copper crimp there. I've always been a fan of snelling. I reckon it's a lot simpler, a lot quicker. You can get your crimpers out and a crimp and crimping it. With that snell there, it does improve your hookup rate. It follows the curvature and the memory of your fluorocarbon line there, as you can see. You get that nice curve here into the circle, which improves your hookup rate there in the jaw of the mouth. With that snell as well, also on this light line here, when you come to leader your fish at the side of the boat, that snell seems to break off a lot easier in that hook there, just where the wire comes around and they haven't welded it. So when you come to cracking off at the side of the boat there, it's a lot easier, a lot safer. You don't have a hook coming flying back at you. All right, the final piece of the puzzle to our leader rig here is our bridle. So you can either use mono or fluorocarbon. I've got some 20-pound fluorocarbon there. And so this bridle is going to connect your hook to your live slimy mackerel. And I just half hitch it on there, just like that. Sticks out nice and proud. Get your needle on there nice and easy. Just like that. So, invisible, easy to do, cheap, and definitely the way I like to run my liveys. Having all your gear ready leads to a good day on the water, increasing your catch rate, giving you your best chance of landing that first marlin. Alright, so we just got to our bait grounds here. So what we're after here is slimy mackerels. Slimy mackerels is the best bait for our marlin fishing here. So there's two options we can do. We can either use our fluorocarbon bait jigs here. Don't fish too well here, so we're going to use our hand lines. Nice and simple, easy to do, and you catch them pretty good here. A nice little piece of bait. I want a bit of meat on that. Definitely catch your better fish. Got a nice chunk on there. Bringing our mackerels here. Special burley mix. You'll get the yakkers coming in. They'll hoard your baits. If I see the yakkers come in, I'll take my bait away. You don't want the yakkers for the marlin fishing, just sort of after them slimies. Don't want to waste time catching yakkers, just want them slimies. Perfect for our marlin fishing. You tie them nice and fast, stand out in the water. Nice little snack for a little marlin. So when we get our slimy mackerels, it's very important we take great care of them. So we don't want to touch them or anything, no dropping them, no chucking them around. Straight into the bait tank, flick them off like that. Want to minimise touching them, takes the slime off them. Later on the day that will become apparent. You'll see your slimies aren't swimming too well, or they're spinning. That's usually from dropping them or taking the slime off them, touching them too much when we're catching them. Yeah. Cool little tip, get yourself some S factor, chuck a bit of that on your bait jigs. Sometimes when the slimies are shy, just a little bit extra, might be able to catch them a bit better. Now we've chosen a location to start fishing, time to put the baits in the water. So I've just got two rods here. I've got what we call a short corner and a long corner, or a short bait and a long bait. I only really need to run two baits when we're live baiting. Two baits and one teaser. So we've got our dredge here, that's going to be our teaser. So we'll get started here. It's got our circle hook. Grab ourselves the bridle. Cool. Now with your nice small needle there, just going to put them on the hook like that. Now I like to pinch them there when I'm travelling between the rod and get myself some bait, just so the needle doesn't fall out. I'm going to come down here now. I've got a nice bait we caught this morning. I'm going to look for the biggest bait there. I like to stick out the biggest bait, most healthy looking bait. So that one there. Now when we're picking up the slimies, I don't like to grip them too much. Just nice soft hands, don't want to squeeze them. Just pick them up there, just cradle them. You just got to watch out your bridle doesn't fall back through. Through there like that. I just like to twist them up, nice and tight. Let's come tight there now, just through the front, and your hook sits forward like that. Now he's ready to go out. The quicker we can get all that motion going, the better that bait's going to survive out there. We don't want to stuff around here in the cockpit, dropping the bait, handling them too much. Now we swum out there, put them up in the rigger here. So on our outriggers we've got release clips. To attach our line to that release clip, I'm just going to wrap this line up 10 times. Grab it here. Here's our release clip, nice and light. You want when you get the bite, that marlin's going to come eat that bait. He's not going to feel anything but slack line. If that release clip's too tight, you can potentially feel it, feel the line, drag. You might not eat it as good. So here's your loop here. In that release clip, and up we go. So that's our first bait out here. That's going to be our short bait. I'll put them at around 15 or 20 metres. And our long bait there, I'm put them out 30, 40 metres. I like to keep sort of double. If you put them too close, you could potentially get a fish that eats your short bait and your long bait, or he eats a long bait, comes and eats a short bait. So just want to spread them out a bit. So I'll put this long bait out now. He's gone past that short bait there. We'll put him up there now. Just twist up 10 times. Nice and simple, no rubber bands, no peg markers, nothing like that. Just twist it up in your clip there, and it should release nice and easy. If I go and pull on this line here, it comes out nice and easy. So there's no resistance there, the fish isn't going to feel anything when he goes to bite that bait. Now I've got both our baits out there, we can now deploy our teasers. So use of teasers in this live baiting, very effective. So we can put a dredge teaser in, what we call a strip teaser here. Probably one of the most effective teasers we use in this sort of live bait fishing. That's just going to sit pretty close to the boat there. You don't need it too far out. Put it too far out, you're not going to be able to see if there's any marlin in it. Marlin, they come stick their nose in this. You don't see them there, you're not going to catch them. So it's nice and short. Make sure it's all hanging nice, nothing's tangled up. Little tip you can do, got a bit of wind, chuck it into the wind. So if you get a tangle, chuck it in the wind. I've got wind coming back this way. So just chuck them in. It's all deployed nicely there. Nice simple rope, tied off to your cleat here in the corner. Easy. Don't need 3 different teasers, just keep it nice and simple. 1 dredge, 2 baits out there. It's going to be probably the easiest, most effective way to catch a marlin on your live bait here. Upstairs here, he's chosen a location where there's structure. Structure holds bait. So where there's bait, there's going to be marlins. So now, while we're fishing, we've got our baits out, we've started fishing. We're going to keep working that area where the bait is, hopefully picking a marlin up off it. Now we can use the tools at our availability, such as our sounders, our eyes. Our eyes are probably one of the most important things, looking for bait on the surface, birds, that sort of thing. And then our sounders, marking the bait, marking marlins. There's a few cues you can look out for with your live bait out there. So you can see live bait, if your live bait comes up skipping or spinning, you need to keep an eye out for that. You can't just go to sleep when you're fishing. You've got to keep an eye for that stuff. So Usually, if your livey's up skipping around, he's scared. Something's up his arse there. So maybe a marlin somewhere near, chasing your bait. Another reason he's spinning or skipping, he might be tired, so it's time to change him out. And that goes back to our taking care of our bait, collecting good fresh bait, putting a good quality slimy out there, big slimy, fresh, good healthy one. He's going to swim out there and truck for all day. And with that, you can keep trucking those slimies around, hopefully waiting for a marlin bite. Marlin fishing, 98% boredom, 2% excitement. Hopefully we get to see a marlin out behind the boat there. Thanks to a few tips that you learned today, helping you get started marlin fishing from a trailer boat or a game boat. Keep it nice and simple, 2 live baits, nice teaser, wait for a bite. And there you have it. Hopefully you picked up a few tips and tricks on chasing marlin here on the east coast of Australia, out of a trailer boat or a game boat. Hopefully we'll see you on the water. Cheers.
Bang. That's a wrap. Hold on.